Shalom, brothers and sisters. Let's talk Ukraine and the war situation that's developing and the tension all over the world at the moment. Everyone hanging on the edge here, waiting to see what happens. Don't make any mistake, this is the closest we've been to a world war since World War II, where everybody's on edge, tensions are high, fingers on trigger buttons, everyone is just wondering what's going to happen, what is going to be the end result. So let's look at a couple of facts here. The U.S. State Department has issued a formal travel advisory warning that Americans should stay out of Ukraine. The U.S. and the U.K. are reducing embassy staff in Kiev. Okay? Family members of U.S. embassy personnel in Kiev are being evacuated. Israel is planning a mass evacuation of Jewish people in Ukraine. 75,000 Jews to be removed by Israel. Now the upside of this is another 75,000 people going back to their homeland, which is biblical and prophetic. God will bring them back from the four corners of the earth to their homeland. There's another 75,000 going just because of this war situation. CNN is reporting as many as 8,500 US troops have been put on heightened alert for a possible deployment to Eastern Europe. The New York Times reports that the Biden administration is considering sending more warships and aircraft into the region. Now, they've already placed a bunch of warships in the area nearby, and they've already got a lot of aircraft on standby and in countries nearby so that they can assist with NATO if anything should go down and they'll be able to react. Other Western nations are preparing to send forces to Eastern Europe. The Netherlands sending 2 F-35s to Bulgaria and offering a ship. Denmark is sending a frigate and an F-16 to Lithuania. Spain is sending warships and fighters to Bulgaria. Excuse me. France says they're ready to send troops into Romania. Okay, so they're all the NATO members are talking together and getting ready, obviously except Germany. And they're all together to support the situation should something go wrong. Hundreds of military trains packed with Russian troops moving into Belarus. Now, Putin has said this is just an exercise that he's doing with Belarus. They're practicing military things together. Yeah, no, not with the current situation going on. That's just a front for him to move more troops into another border with Ukraine. UK Boris Johnson alleges that Russia is planning a lightning war that can take out Kiev. Now, Kiev is about 100 km from the closest border with Belarus. So 100 km is nothing. If you travel and you do this regularly, you'll realize how quickly you cover 100 km. It's not a distance at all. Now, add to that trains and add tanks and aeroplanes. It would be lightning fast if they decided to take the capital. Australia has begun evacuating families of diplomats from Kiev. Citizens are recommended to leave immediately. Russia has deployed its electronic warfare battalion along Ukraine's border. The Krasushka systems render drones useless, cripple satellite communication systems and cell phone towers. That will be a major problem if a war breaks out for the Allies, because that is all your communication levels and your quick strike back with drones disabled. Canada and Germany have ordered families of diplomatic staff to leave Ukraine immediately. Okay, so now the interesting thing with that is before a war, the first thing you do is you pull your diplomats out of the firing line immediately. And that's what's happening with multiple countries. They're pulling their people out, they're advising their citizens to leave, because we've reached that point where things can go down fast without any warning. Biden has said if Russia were to move in with all these forces they currently have in play, it would be the largest invasion since World War II. Okay, scary. It's really serious. It's not something that's just, it's just another rumor of a war or nothing to worry about. This is a serious one, and the players in play are sitting with nuclear weapon stockpiles and you name it. So anything can happen here. This is not good for the average person on the street. Yeah, we need to pray and see how this develops, but it looks bad. The upside is, and I'll end it with this, Russia and Ukraine have agreed to continue ceasefire talks. They had talks now in the last 24 hours in Paris, and in a week's time they're scheduled to meet in Berlin. So they've agreed, they want to talk peace, and they want to talk ceasefire, so it's on the table. How true that is from Putin's side, we don't know, because I mean he's put a lot into this buildup of troops and weaponry and everything. Is it worth his while to withdraw again? Is he not just causing himself financial ruin and drain on his resources? And then NATO is all sitting on the edge. If one of them makes a mistake now and shoots first or anything, could this be a false flag event where they trigger each other, where they're trying to take our attention away from something else? Either way, this is a potential worldwide effect war that could go down. And I'm sorry, but when I see this and the build-up that's happening, I've got to think, what if this is orchestrated cleverly? They hit Ukraine, everyone's focused there, China takes Taiwan at the same time, and they swing around the back and they hit America while she's weak. Anything's possible. I'm playing with scenarios here. It's not good. It's really not good. So keep an eye on what's happening in Ukraine. This, again, it's past the point of no return. We're hoping that these talks bear fruit, and let's see what happens. Shalom.